And welcome back, guys. Sorry for the crash, but someone's client crashed. It happens. This client isn't perfect, but once again, we're back into the first game draft of the playoffs number 3, which obviously the winner of this goes to the grand finals for Division 2, going up against Noodleland. So just going through the same bands and picks. So we'll see Zach, Trundle, Rise, and Fiora, and obviously the last two bands coming through.
Yeah, so we see from Crows they have banned tankier junglers, two of the tankier junglers, and Kassadin. So most likely target bans is something that we can't play against. And the same thing for Unstoppable. By the way, they're picking some of the stronger mid and top laners right now in this meta. Makes sense, and until we go through a little further into the series, we're not going to see too many different bands or picks right now. We're just getting a feel of each other right now, considering this is the first time these two teams have played against each other, coming from opposite sides of the brackets. So the pick that we haven't seen yet is Xayah on the side of Crows. So what are your thoughts on Jarvan, Akali, and Xayah together? And what do you think they're going to pick to complement this team composition?
So it looks like Xayah is a pick that might have been prepared for the Kai'Sa. I think Xayah is one of those ADCs that's really strong in the laning phase compared to the Kai'Sa, who, you know, wants to just scale up and farm into the late game. So Xayah, with an aggressive support like a Rakan or a Braum, can put a lot of pressure onto the Xayah. When you're picking a Kali, obviously you're looking for that really assassination attempt, being able to tower dive at level 6. That huge burst potential, and obviously the Jarvan is able to provide Akali that second support, aiding her for those solo kill attempts that I reckon we will be seeing when they both hit those level 6 power spikes.
Yeah, and we see Sejuani picked up right now from the side of, by the way, that's a very strong teamfight composition right now with Alistar or Sejuani able to go in and follow up on their each other's wombos. So what are your thoughts on that power and teamfight right now?
Yeah, so right now their team fighting is extremely strong. There's a lot of hard CC, and obviously hard CC is what Kai'Sa benefits, obviously getting those plasma stacks racking up so she can 4th proc really efficiently and consistently. I doubt we will see much early game impact from these 3 champions. Sejuani will be mostly trying to control the jungle, trying to make sure that Jarvan is unable to grab too many scuttles, not able to counter invade too much. Just play a level-headed game until Kai'Sa hits maybe that 2 or 3 item power spike, and then they'll look for these engages. And speaking of engages in hard CC, we have Sion as well, so even more tankiness and even more CC that Kai'Sa can feed off.
Oh, and see Rakan picked up by Crows. We have that Valentine bot lane. I feel like they really should have picked that away or banned it. Not pick it away, but ban it. It feels like they may have forgot that combo, or what do you think?
Yeah, it looks like from their second phase bans, they were targeting the top lane of Aurelia and Darius. You know, they were worried about. I guess it makes sense because they wanted to pick this Sion or another tanky top laner that is able to engage along with the Sejuani. So they wanted to make sure that they could remove the 2 threatening top laners. In the meta right now, Darius obviously extremely strong against tanks with his constant harassment and his bleeds procs as well. And also Aurelia is just so slippery, so hard for Sion to hit. So securing Sion a very nice and easy laning phase, and Jax obviously isn't one of those that can provide too much kill pressure in the early stages of the game. So Sion should be able to farm up and get that HP stacking for him efficiently.
Yeah, and we finally see Echo picked up for, by the way, rounding up both team compositions. I think both team comps have gone for very teamfight heavy. And something that they look obviously comfortable with. Something that I find really interesting is that they did pick up the Sejuani, which is just for a fun fact for you and the players at home. Actually, guess what rank Sejuani is in terms of jungle win rate? 1 out of 40. There's 43 champions in the jungle pool right now.
Wow.
According to Champion GG, where does Sejuani sit?
I'll say 7.
Guess the win percentage.
Win percentage. Oh, okay.
Don't look it
So
up.
so
Don't look it up.
I'm gonna go 52%.
Wrong. Sejuani is dead last, 43. It's
Oh my goodness.
45%. That is a fall
Okay.
from grace for some of the players who haven't been playing or wasn't as active
Wow.
earlier on this season.
That
Sejuani
is.
was one of the highest win rate junglers earlier on this season, being
Yeah, he was.
pretty much flavor of the couple months, flavor of the season, I guess. And now she's just fall behind with a number of nerfs, and I guess just place like stylistically junglers falling or tank junglers falling out of favor at that
Yeah.
kind of solo queue level. Remember, this is a comp though, um, and in team play, Sejuani and junglers that can engage and provide a big CC for the teams are very very highly valued. It's
Yeah.
a very different ballpark. We see junglers like Sejuani, Gragas, Trundle, Zac, you know, all your traditional tank junglers, all at the bottom of the win rate. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, something that's I'd say a lot of the players at home should have a look at. It's just a champion.gg. It's really fun to go through statistics, and it's pretty much how I play League of Legends. I just look at how the
Yeah.
enemy plays, and I just pick whatever against. And yeah,
Yeah.
generally speaking, I don't do that well.
Oh boy. But
Yeah,
yeah, I guess it does make sense that Sejuani does fall in the solo queue, because she's not aggressive. She's always looking to control jungle, and then you know isn't able to fight most champions at the scuttle. So it does see that I can see that Sejuani falls up. The 43% is very low, and I don't see Sejuani as a weak champion by any means. So that's very surprising to me. So
yeah.
yeah.
But it's really interesting to see which junglers are pretty much at the bottom of this win rate, um, or this table. It's a lot of junglers that you'd expect to be good in solo queue. It just goes to
Mm.
show how much stronger um, all the other bruisers and non-traditional junglers are
Yeah.
right now. Um,
Yeah, definitely.
which is great. Everything can be really picked right now, which shows that jungle is in a really good state. On the opposite side, we do have Jarvan, which is actually not too high up either. He also has a negative win rate, but still
Mm.
having some of that bruiser strength, which is great.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
something that I'm really excited to see is how they pair up that Rakan Jarvan combo in the team fights with Jax possibly jumping in as well.
Yeah.
Um, there is always Alistair kind of doing his headbutt away, so
Mm.
pretty difficult. And we also got to be aware of Sion charging up his Q, I believe it is. Is it?
Yes, his decimating smash. Yes,
Yeah,
his
yeah.
key. Yeah,
So
yeah, yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
we're gonna be jumping in game very very soon, which will be exciting. We do have to sync up, so
Hopefully,
we'll
there's no crash.
yeah.
The download data that happens so often.
So I just created this dope website with Wix.
Yeah, I can only pause the 437. Kill already happened, so.
Hello, and we're back to the game. Unfortunately, there was some spectator issues and we were forced to pretty much get kicked off the game. The closest time we could get is 4 minutes, so we'll be starting here and doing a bit of a resync at 440. So yeah, we'll begin. So far in the game, we see, by the way, picking up 1 kill. No idea how that happened. It seems like Zion got a kill on Jackson. It looks to be something like a solo kill.
Yeah, solo kill.
Yeah, that's pretty much the extent of what we know right now. But yeah, don't blame us, blame Riot. No, we can't do that. Spectator issues happen all the time. There's not really much we can do, unfortunately. We just gotta play around it and yeah, just work it out. So yeah, what is the closest time you can get to Shinza?
437.
Alright, let's pause at 445 to sync up. So go.
445.
Yeah.
Okay. Right, I'm there.
Right, so we'll start on my count when I say go. So 3, 2, 1, go. Alright, so everything should be perfectly synced up. Yeah, so I'm not really seeing much. Let's try and analyze as much as we can from the 4 minutes that we've lost. So
yeah,
see a bit of a CS differential in the top lane, just 10 CS, but Sion has picked up that kill. Jungle, both jungle counts fairly even. Mid lane fairly even. Echo edging out a couple more CS, and bot lane fairly even. With actually, by the way, winning out just a little more with those Targon stacks. Sorry, Relic Shield stacks. Yeah, so with all that kind of caught up, where do we go from here?
well, I guess more on that first blood since there's something else to talk about. So it did seem like Sion burned the flash, whereas Jax held on to his flash, so maybe Jax was a bit overconfident when he was CSing and got punished, maybe got hit by the Signature Smash, got hit by the full combo of Sion, and Sion just found the opportunity and just flashed in for the last hit, so I feel like that's what happened, and the good thing for Sion is he holds on his TP, the good thing for Jax is he holds on to his flash, so see if there's any real plays in the top lane.
Yeah, that's a lot closer than what I was thinking. I was like, you know what? He probably just walked it down top lane and just, tank 100 turret shots.
Yeah, could have happened. We don't know.
Either could be either could be correct. We don't know. So that's kind of one of those things we just need to imagine.
Yeah, very surprising that Kai'Sa is actually doing really well in this lane. He's up 10 CS already, and this is a Rakan and Xayah who is famously for being the premier 2v2 bot lane, really aggressive, really strong trading potential, and Kai'Sa is doing a really good job already, and I expect it to go into the later stage of the game pretty well with its good lane phase.
Yeah, it's just something really interesting to see. Sometimes people like to play it a bit safe in these team games and wait till they do get those 6s or when they're really confident. A couple CS here and there doesn't really matter too much in the overall picture. Giving away a lead right now is a lot more dangerous, especially if you jump on and you just make a big mistake, especially without having that vision. We can kind of see that from Karasuno Pros right now, that they do have some vision, but there are a number of entry points the enemy can go to that they're not really aware of. One being in the kind of river brush right above. So yeah, it makes sense that they're kind of playing a little safe and just waiting out for their spikes, or potentially waiting out for their jungler to come, knowing that they do have a superior jungler of Jarvan right now.
Yeah, definitely, and we'll see what the junglers look to do. I think Jarvan is looking to control the bottom scuttle, which is coming up right now, as Sejuani is looking to maintain his red buff, so I think it's safe to say that Sejuani started on the top side on the red buff, and probably pathed from there to his top scuttle, because his blue buff is up right now, so we'll see what Jarvan does. He gets spotted by the wards, so Echo should be able to play it safe, and I expect Jarvan to go to his blue buff.
Yeah, we're just seeing a bit of a trade in the mid lane right now. Echo popping off his, I believe, Execute, that is running... Electrocute.
Electrocute, yeah.
That does a fair bit of damage. She's looking for a kill on mid lane, but Crows is there behind, waiting for that gank if he doesn't go too deep in. But no, he shows himself, gives his mid laner some room to adjust to back and come back.
We could see a play in the bot lane. Sion has level 7, and he's gonna ulti down bot lane. They have a really strong...
They're going for the dive, actually.
Good tanking from Rakan.
They get the ult, they go for the counter. There's not much you can do right now. They're all diving on. They're doing their tank distribution really well. Trina taking a bit more damage than expected to be out. Dying in the end, and it's a 5-man bot lane. And they're gonna end up taking this bot lane tower.
We'll see if they can, because Jax is wailing onto that top tower.
I don't think this is the best idea for Akali and Jace. They can pick up one.
Oh my!
They actually pulled that off really well. They get 2 kills. And do they get a third? They will get that.
They'll get 4 kills.
Yeah, that is immense. That is 4 kills right there, and I guess they just overstayed, and they lose top tower as well. This is... I don't know how to say
Oh my goodness. Yeah,
You
it
feel
looked
Dunzo at this point, right? Like,
yeah, it looked really good for what was it, BTW, but then I think they stayed a little bit too long. They underestimated the damage that Akali can do to their team. She already has the Hextech Revolver, so and level 6, and level 6 Akali and Jarvan does a really good amount of damage if you don't have the armor and health. And obviously, because of the tower dive, they burnt so many cooldowns to kill off the Rakan and the Xayah, so they had nothing left to defend against Akali and Jarvan. And meanwhile, Jax just took the opportunity to just destroy that top tower and first blood tower, and a huge lead for Akali, who is a huge win condition for this Crows team.
yeah, that is one of the biggest kind of play swings I've ever seen. By the way, executing what I'd consider almost one of those perfect team plays with the 4 or 5 man bot coming down for a double kill, and they overstayed for the tower, just having like you said, not many resources left. There are all their summoners burnt, and them being low on health and mana, and they really underestimated Jarvan and Akali's damage. And to be fair, I underestimated it as well. I was surprised when they jumped in, and
Yeah.
I did not expect it, but you know, they're not dissuaded. They're doing it exactly the same
Doing
way.
it again.
Jarvan is maybe spotted on the top side, and they see an opportunity, and it just depends on if they can execute it correctly. And right now, it's looking a bit awry for them. Crows does lose the 2 kills by Trina running away, but Akali potentially picking up kills. Let's see how many she can get. That's 1.
That's one.
And that's just
Rakan
a kill for Rakan, because Akali actually did nothing except dash over the wall. And that's it. So, by the way, learning from their mistakes, realizing, you know what, once we get those kills, we should back off, because we really don't have much steam left in us. But yeah, we do look at Sion right now, and is really, really strong. Mr. Me having no mana at all, and Trina potentially getting a kill.
Oh!
He does not have much movement speed, so we're just gonna wait. And
Yeah, and
no,
Trina
he
has
just
boots
leaves.
too. Oh no, okay.
Yeah, that's interesting. And we see Crows. Oh my god, and he just died too.
Oh, Mr. Me.
That's where the teams end up. Those question mark pings. They pretty much gave that signal away by dying as well.
Akali could. Oh no, gets stolen away by the Sejuani.
Yep. That's really unfortunate. Oh, missing that headbutt.
Oh
Yeah.
no. Bit of a fiesta at the moment. I think people are just still waking up. Their mechanics are not up to scratch. But out of all this, you know, we do have the Rift Herald being summoned in the mid lane, and they know Akali doesn't have that much wave clear, but there's not a huge minion wave, so it could be dicey here if they can.
Yeah, I mean their ADC isn't here, so they're forced to go on tower, but they're happy to do it again, and they're not.
Oh my!
What are they
Oh!
doing? What are they doing?
Akali is so strong, and Jarvan with the warrior and huge dunk on 3 men. It's just so much damage, and we saw it before,
And
and
we
now
see
they're even
Akali
stronger.
jump on Nicarius again, and he is just overstaying. What is he doing there? He's dead. Tobio
No flash,
picking
yeah.
up that kill.
Oh.
Shout out to the fans of Hero Academia. That is that anime. So yeah, that's
Oh dear. Like, I like
That's
the
a bit
focus.
disappointing.
I like the focus from Unstoppable, knowing that their huge win condition is this Kai'Sa, so they're giving you so many resources with these huge dives, but they're not calculating their plays very well. That when they went for that bot dive, the Jax had already built up a huge minion wave, so he was able to take down the top tower. And then when they tried it again, they just disrespected the Kali coming in and giving you another kill. So she's up on 4 kills. Jax is a huge CS lead. He's gonna get Triforce really soon. So this really potential threat for the Crows for this 1-3-1 split push in the late game is gonna be very real and a very hard task for BDW to deal with.
Yeah, I really don't know what they're thinking right now. They're doing the right things. They're setting up the right ganks and the right map movements, but all they're doing is they're overstaying that a little bit too long. And I thought after bot lane, after that big 4-kill swing, they would realize we should go back. Akali and Jarvan makes for a very, very strong combo. There's not much we can do. We see our Sion jump straight into the river
I'm
right
not gonna
now.
do this.
It's a complete
Oh!
It's a complete 5v5. So many things are happening at once, and it's so hard to cast. Yeah, we see Sion being jumped on right now, Akali picking up the double kill, and they're still fighting, they're still going on. They think they can do something and pick something up, but they really can't. Yeah, no, they do. They pick up 1 kill, but Akali comes up.
Akali.
And Akali may be able to get 2 more kills. That's 1, that's 2, and that may be the rest of the team. And Echo is in the enemy team base once again, and no, Lucarius picks up another kill out of nowhere, and finally Jax picks up the last parts of by the way. So
yeah, Crows are just winning these fights based on the fact that they've gained so much value with every single skill that they pick out. Mr. Me in that fight landed a 5-man counter strike. We saw in the previous fights, Jarvan was able to hit 3-man ultimates, Akali also 3-man stuns, so they're getting so much value from these cooldowns, and it doesn't matter how many people you're against, if you hit, multi-man ultimates, you're gonna win every fight.
Yeah, Unstoppable, by the way, looking very, very stoppable. I just had to say that, but it's really disappointing to see. I do feel like they're a very, very strong team, and they have the right idea. They did come from, I believe, being the first seed on the bracket, so
oh wow,
I do need to double check that one. But
I guess on Crow's side as well, they did play a playoff match beforehand. They did play against Garius Fit in the preliminary qualifiers, I would call it that. So they are coming into this game with a little bit of momentum, a little bit of practice, a little bit of recency. So I feel like Crows are benefiting from that and relaying their form into this game, and they are off to a really hot start.
Yeah, I think definitely next game we're going to see an Akali ban.
Yeah.
If you want to play that aggressively and kind of push yourself to that limit, then it's a really good idea to take away options that can pretty much relinquish all that. A champion like Akali, although it offers very little wave clear, always offers insane kill potential, and that's something that they can't really handle right now. Akali can just hide away in her smoke, and there's really not many options. They do have how many forms of CC? They have 4 forms of major CC on their team, but it's so hard to hit, and you just don't know when Akali's gonna pop out, and it's so hard for them to deal with right now. I don't think Hanami can kind of deal with that either and be the support that he needs to be for his team. Not because of him, but just because of kind of the capabilities of the champion. Alistar not being the best protecting support that exists out there. I definitely think there's going to be some big team composition changes, despite this game not being a team composition issue. But we see Sejuani jump onto the Akali right now, and
can they kill her? I don't think so.
They can kill her, but we'll see how Akali plays that out. She does escape by the very last second, but Echo does pick up that kill, executes that perfectly, and Tobio goes in to try and support his Akali, but just a little bit too late. So that's kind of what they need to do there. Like we said, if the positive thing about Sejuani and Echo is they do have CC that kind of waits out. It's not like a form of CC where you do it but then you're on cooldown for a while. Akali, with Sejuani, you do apply that 1 or 2 stacks and then you wait until she pops out again, and she doesn't really have too much of an option there. It's just really hard in team fights where everything is so frantic for you to pop that off. And the same thing with Echo, he can chuck down his W and wait until she pops up and just stun her. But Akali has so much movability, it's so hard to hit. But overall, that was just kind of Akali being greedy and trying to flex her muscles.
Yeah, even then, like Akali, if she uses her Ignite in her Flash, maybe she does get that kill on Echo in a different story. So Akali at this point of the stage is very, very unstoppable, and it costs a lot of resource. So even if it's 19 minutes in the game, they've already taken every single outer tower. Jax has his Triforce and already nearly has his Essence Reaver. Akali already has his Hextech Gunblade and is on her way to a Zhonya's. So even though it's 19 minutes, they're a really big threat for this 1v1, which is usually a late game strategy. So we'll see how Unstoppable can stop this. And usually, because they have the superior team fighting team comp, they need to force these huge team fights at maybe a Baron that's incoming in 30 seconds. That is,
But it's still really important to note that by the way, it does have a really good escape option in Macarius. Echo isn't too far behind. Look at the gold leads. He is one. He actually isn't behind Akali at all, despite being 7-1. He's pretty much even on gold, which is really interesting. So we see a really big gold difference between kind of the rest of the teams, though. Especially in top lane. For some reason, Jax is 2k ahead, and I just realized that's because it's 80 CS ahead, which is immense. That shows
immense, yeah.
That is really good farming. That you see really top levels of play. 200 CS at 20 minutes is extremely good. We see that when team says, "Oh, Akali jumps in," and
that's so much damage.
You can't do anything. You can.
Oh my god.
Yeah, you cannot leave your ADC alone like that. But we see everyone going for those. She pops off that. She pops that clock up at this perfect time, and she's still escaping. Everyone's going straight to the throws. Akali is jumping in, and there's another smoke, but we'll see if she can get away. Akali just doing whatever the goodness she wants. Yeah.
When you're in a fit Akali, you can do whatever you want, and because you have that shroud that gives you true invisibility, it's so hard to catch it, even though it's a 1v3 situation. And he gets a solo kill and gets out safely, and Jax also cleans up another kill. So they're just losing everything on the map, and bot lane is able to take this top tower to half HP. So really tough for Unstoppable here.
I don't want to call it now, but this is one of those games where you as a team, you just kind of, you can come back, but I would almost concede the loss and just say, guys, let's keep playing this out. Let's figure out what to do with this game, but at the same time, let's think about the next game. We know our mistake here. We pretty much just overstayed in bed, and we see Sion jump in, and we'll see if anything can come of this. Sion jumping in, getting that slow off to Macarius in the backline. He almost gets off that E, but the flashes do come out too early. And something I like to see here is, by the way, grouping, but they're grouping a bit hard, and yeah, that's a bit of a bad feels, I guess. And yeah. While we're here, we can see Jax in the bot lane just kind of going down in that tower. There's so little anyone can do against Jax right now. Jax is one of those champions that counter champions like Echo. Echo can't really do much into a Jax because of that Counter-Strike, I believe it's called.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we see that tower being destroyed by him. He's almost Flame Horizon. No, he actually has Flame Horizon. Sion with that 100 gold lead, and he's insane. Sion can't do anything. He's tanky, but tankiness means nothing. He's just flashed out, and yeah, it's pretty much going to be a 1v4 in the base right now. He does end up dying, and they do pick up that kill, and Tro's not really having much to say about that. I think they could have Baroned.
Yeah, they could have Baron. They can really do anything they want with the amount of pressure that Jax and Akali both are generating on the map, on the side lanes. So, with that, if it's nearly going down in a top bottom lane, I'd expect Jax to return there with his TP available, and I expect the rest of the Crows team to look for this Baron take, which should be very simple since Jax is just such an enormous threat. And you know, if Unstoppable tries to stop the Baron, obviously Jax can just freely take the inhibitor, and if they don't, then it's a free Baron. So loses the situation at this point.
Yeah, I really would have liked to see, to have seen the Baron come out while Jax was dying and taking that bot lane. They did send 3 or 4 people to the bot lane to kind of work that out, but yeah, we see a bit of a scuffle, or a potential scuffle in the jungle right now. Everyone kind of clearing vision and kind of getting vision right now as big things are happening. Both teams kind of aware of the Baron threat right now and focusing on that. I'm just really wary for, by the way, and the potential that Akali has. But we see Echo pop off a perfect shield right there to stun Bayer. It just doesn't have that little bit more damage to pick up one more kill.
Yeah, and her surviving is just crucial, even by the skin of her teeth. Kills like those could reset the game for another minute, and every minute they can buy is another minute that Kaisen can get farm, and so these kills that are not going their way is actually super huge for the Crows, because they just are able to keep up the pressure. And look at that, Jax is just still pushing bot lane, and Akali is still pressuring the mid tower super heavily.
Yeah, it's so important to slow the game down. We do see the Baron being taken by Crows, and there's nothing they can do. They're kind of forced all the way back because of the push by the Jackson by Akali. That threat's way too big. I think they are aware it's happening. No?
They probably can guess, because since there's 3 people not on the map and Akali is so aggressive, so I expect them to say, you know what, they're taking it, but we can't do anything about it. Just leave it and let's try and team fight our way to victory.
Interestingly, they did have opportunities to take it. This is a very slow Baron. This is one of the slowest Barons I've ever seen.
It is slow. Xayah is pretty weak, so...
Yeah, Xayah going for kind of the, that really fun crit build that I like to see. Or not necessarily crit build, but that kind of, that couple big damage hits. I don't know, is there a name for that build right now?
I guess I call it a standard crit build, probably.
Yeah, it's pretty powerful, but it doesn't do much of a job against Barons and
until you get your Infinity Edge, which is usually a 3rd item. You don't do a lot of damage. You generally you're just there to siege and get towers with that build because of your empowered first auto attack.
Although, by the way, it doesn't have many options, they still have a really strong team fight, and Echo is still really strong, but Sion does do his train to get away. And look, Jax is the actual unstoppable force here. We're talking about Akali being really powerful and really far ahead. It's not. She is, but compared to Echo, she's not that much further, and there's so much that Akali needs to do to kind of pop off, and there's still that danger potential. But we're looking at the gold differential. Sion is 5k gold behind. So Jax right now has 1.3k gold, and everyone pops off of Jax. It's a 1v4 right now, and he may be able to get something out of it. No, he doesn't, but
oh, that was close though.
Wow. Mid lane towers have gone, and I guess it's a worthwhile trade. I'm not sure if it's the best thing for Jax to be doing at that time, but it's still an option. Hanami being popped off, and we have a 1v4 right now. Ikarius gets away with his ultimate, and Akali just jumping straight into that Echo right there and going right back in, and doing whatever he wants to. We do have Sion, and this may be a win for, by the way, Crows going a little too deep, but yeah, Sion just still there, not really doing much. Seems to be just caught off right now. Miani not having too much damage to provide much, but Kali is just on full health, and she's just everywhere. And finally, despite that, 2 for 1, they finally get those 2 towers and that inhibitor. What a fight.
Yeah, Kali just can't be killed. She's so tanky with those Zhonya's and Banshee's Veil, and also her Shroud is practically makes you a tank because you just can't be hit and you're still a huge threat. They spent so many resources trying to peel off the Kali, but she still survives on full HP, and then Xayah comes in from mid lane and is like, oh hey guys, you have no cooldown to stop me. I'm just going to auto attack you and take this inhibitor. So Akali hurt by herself is just such a nuisance for BTW that like they just can't deal with it in an efficient way that allows them to maintain their cooldowns for the rest of the fight. And yeah, it's really difficult for them. And Akali flexing with the BS sword, I don't know why she's going to build with that, but that is insane. She might be looking for a, what's it called, the QSS item. Can't remember. Oh no, that doesn't build into BS sword. So I don't know.
Scores like this kind of go to show how important farming is. You would look at Sion and think he's doing really well, and don't get me wrong, he is. He's 4-1-5 in a game where his team is kind of struggling a little bit, but we see Jax 4-4-2 with that huge CS and gold advantage, and he's kind of wreaking havoc. By the way, they don't really have much of an option other than to send 3 or 4 people to him. It's not because they're they're kind of flexing or I guess overcommitting. They 100% need to send that many people to take care of him.
Yeah.
Otherwise, he will destroy them all one by one by one.
He's got 4 items, including boots, at 30 minutes. This is a late game Jax in a mid game situation, so it just gets their job just gets harder and harder from here. And Jax just can't be stopped.
It's fun to know that it's also kind of a carry Jax, not the traditional tankier Jax that we see most players play. We may see a bit of a fight here. Tobio jumping straight onto the MVP, and Echo popping up his ult in the final minute. Triggering a Matrix, getting a final kill. Akali is nowhere to be seen right now. I'm not sure where she is. Diani almost getting that kill on there. Akali was in the backline, taking away a couple kills, but this may be a win. Nicarius popping off that final kill. Akali back in the smoke. I'm not sure if he can survive this. No, Nicarius pops off his Guardian in the perfect time, gets that shield off. Nami kind of in the towers, and meanwhile we have the base being completely pushed in while they're all scuffling. We do have a TP coming out from Crows, and Jax is straight back in, going right onto the tower, and I'm not sure if they can handle it. He can end this game all by himself.
He's gonna end it.
Up Echo's way too slow. Goodbye. This is GG. They're gonna go for a couple more kills. Akali getting that kill with that Hextech Gunblade, and no. Luckily enough, by the way, have a couple of people who just spawned, and they're kind of saved by that respawn timer. I think they could have won if Crows did opt to take the kill. But you know what? You gotta flex those. You gotta flex those stats when you can, and they're kind of looking for a little bit more, and I'm not sure if that's the best option, but I don't really think you can say much other than GG. Outside of kills, it's been almost a perfect game for Crows. Even though I wouldn't call it a perfect game, but if we're looking at the towers, no towers are taken, despite us thinking that they were going to take bot tower very early on and mid tower very early on. And we see on by the wayside, they have nothing. They literally have nothing left, and
it's really difficult.
You do not come back from games like this when the enemy teams have Akali and Jackson. These are champions that can, even if they wanted to, even if they somehow came back, they can just sneak through. This is way too difficult.
Yeah, like Crows has to be credited for, like, they weren't proactive in the sense that they made the first play, but they were proactive in the sense that they were very reactive to the play. You know, as soon as the bot dive came around, Akali and Jarvan were like, okay, let's get them. We can probably 2v4 here because they're on the tower, they have no resource. When Sion TP's the bot, Jax is like, alright, I'm just gonna farm these 5 waves to myself and get the top tower by myself. So they reacted perfectly to the situation, and they built up this huge lead just by their decision making.
Sorry to cut you off, but this is pretty much going to be the last part of the game. Sejuani does pick up that Baron, but a bit too late, unfortunately. Kali does end up taking down, and the fight is over.
Yep, that's over.
Too much of a gold lead. Sion is just stuck in base clearing, because if he didn't, it would be done before they can even Baron.
Triple hit,
That's a highlight play for Sejuani. She should be a little confident that she can kill that Baron, but that's the extent of it. That's just a minor consolation fight. And that's GG. Game 1 goes to Crows, and we'll be back very, very shortly with Game 2. So we'll head to Reg and analyze some of this game a little later on.
You're scared. Good to know.
And welcome back. We have pick ban for game 2 between Crows and BTW. Obviously, Crows were able to take out game 1 in convincing fashion. I think Crows played with a lot of confidence. They made these huge plays, even though it looked disadvantageous. They were able to. They had the confidence to go for these plays. You know, Jarvan and Akali constantly going for these 2v4 team fights and coming away with it really well. And obviously, Akali and Jax were able to build up these huge leads and just snowball the game from there. And even though BTW crafted a really good team comp for team fighting, if you're getting split pushed all around the map, then you just can't team fight. And so that's how the Crows were able to win the game. So in response to the game 1, we had the Akali ban, which is very appropriate since Akali was probably the biggest factor and the biggest hindrance to BTW's success. Crows obviously going with the same ban phase with Trundle, Zac, and Kassadin wanting to get rid of these control and tanky junglers, whilst also taking away the Kassadin, which is maybe a target ban. Maybe Trina has something up her sleeve. If she's the top, if she's the mid lane, I'm not sure. We see Varus coming in. Obviously, Varus is probably the strongest single AD carry in the laning phase. He has a lot of trading potential, a lot of poke, and is very efficient with his passive procs as well. And has a very good ability to scale into the late game because of it. Of his varying builds. He can build on hit, he can build crit. It's very hard to itemize against ADCs that are very versatile in their builds, and that's why Varus and Kai'Sa are so prevalent in the meta right now, because if you need that type of damage source, then these two ADCs can provide any sort of damage that you require. Crows looking to play a little bit more of a teamfight presence. A lot more CC, a lot more team fighting with the Alistar and Jarvan, a little bit more bulkiness. Obviously, they did play Jarvan in the last game, so must be a favored pick for them and something that they're comfortable with. And Jarvan did a lot in game 1. They're constantly hitting these 4 to 5 man cataclysms and allowing Akali to pop off the rest of the game. And even though we highlight the Akali and Jax being so huge, it was Jarvan that started all these fights and really allowed these two big carries to take the game forward. BTW is looking to maintain the teamfight presence with the Sejuani, whilst also maintaining the bot lane aggressiveness. Varus and Thresh very, very strong as a duo because they have good trading potential, they have good poke. With the Varus piercing arrows, whilst also having a good all-in potential with Thresh. If he hits a hook on Kai'Sa, it could be rough for her since she's gonna get dealt a lot of damage and she's pretty squishy in the early game without that killer instinct available to give her that shield. BTW going with the Jax ban caused them so much trouble, so like let's just ban it away. It's something that we just couldn't deal with. And I expect Crows, they picked it away from Crows, and I think BTW, with that ban, with all these, so there is a bit of a pattern on BTW's bans, like Kali, Ryze, Vladimir, and Jax, they're all really good at split pushing.
Are you certain?
And then LeBlanc as well, really good at 1v1ing anyone on the map. So they're just eliminating all the side lane pressures so that they can enable their team fighting composition and their team fighting philosophy into the game. We'll see what Crows are picking for their 4th. I'm looking for, Ahri, so another assassin. Not as much of an assassin potential as Akali, but obviously if you hit the charm and you hit a full burst combo on any squishy member, they're going to die. So they're maintaining that identity of let's have a really strong presence with the Ari that is bridging the gap between the mid game, the early and late game for the Kai'Sa to scale up and make these plays around the Ari and Jarvan combo.
Okay, and I'm back. So let's kind of start with you telling me what we've just went through.
All right, so as BTW is looking for this, they're still maintaining that beefy front line. There's a team fight focused team comp with the Varus hyper carry and lots of CC around the Sejuani, Thresh, and Ornn, and then maintaining the Echo, which I think they really like. Echo is one of those champions that has good wave clear, has good zone control with his gate, with not sure what it's called, but his AoE stun, and it creates so much space for the team to operate in. Meanwhile, Crows are maintaining their identity as well. Even though they have Akali and Jax Ban, they have another 1v1 strong split pusher in Fiora, and maintaining the assassin potential in the Ahri, whilst also having this late game scaling composition in the bot lane with Kai'Sa and Alistar, who did extremely well. Despite them, losing the game and falling behind, Kai'Sa was still up in CS by like 50 in the late game, so she was able to grab these incremental advantages. And it was unfortunate that last game she wasn't able to profit from these bot dives, but it's still an option for them. And we'll see as we go into the 3-minute cooldown for the game.
Yeah, hopefully we don't have that spectator bug again.
Yeah, hopefully not.
I kind of really like some of the changes I've seen from, by the way, still opting for a tank top lane and a kind of tankier engaged support like Thresh in the bot lane, but ADC wise it doesn't feel too different. Varus just offering a bit more CC than the Xayah of the previous game, but we see Crows kind of picking very, very similar champs. Kai'Sa in the bot lane. Oh, who picked Kai'Sa last game?
Oh no, it was BTW. By the way,
it was Kai'Sa, not Xayah. Yes.
Yeah.
But yeah, they pick kind of the opposite champs in the bot lane. Actually, picking the exact same bot lane as by the way did. Ahri just has a bit less, or actually a lot less scale. Not scale potential, but kind of, what's the word I'm looking for? Snowball potential.
Yeah.
Fiora has that chance to kind of pop off, especially against Ornn. Fiora should have a really good chance to scale and get really far ahead in the lane. And again, we do see Jarvan, and like we saw last game, he played that perfectly. He didn't gank when he didn't need to, farmed really well, and when he did see opportunities, he just went all in with help of one of his teammates. Generally speaking, Akali, those 2 times, one in bot lane and one in mid lane.
Yep.
Was it 3 times? Was it 2 or 3 times they kind of did that big mistake?
I think it was 2, but it could have been many more. They just did so much work together, and it was very devastating for BTW.
Yeah, let's go to a little bit of a break until the game starts again, just because it's a bit of a delay.
Like 2 feet. I'm at 3 now.
Okay, I'll pause at 3 or 5.
Okay, I'll catch up to you. Alright, I'm there.
Right, 3, 2, 1, now.
Cool.
Alright.
Sejuani looking for a gank in mid lane. But he gets spotted out, so you can see this
I'm not
coming.
sure if he should know. He probably did spot out the Jarvan now. You see him. And then
Now he does.
not really gonna do much. And oh, Trina does pop.
Oh!
Ooh, that was so close.
Mr. Me in game 1 got solo killed by Trina at like level 2, so that nearly happened again.
According to our suspicions.
Yeah, God, we might not know if Mr. Me just entered, but yeah, we'll give the credit to Trina and say that he played the level 1 really well and got the kill. But yeah, Mr. Me nearly dies again, and it's not something you expect from an Ornn solo killing Fiora at this stage of the game.
Yeah, I mean, it is something that can happen if you're a bit close to tower, so
Yeah.
towers are stronger than champions. I would like to see a walking tower champion one day.
Oh boy. Well, if Heimerdinger ultimate turret was a standard skill, then maybe that.
Oh no, they don't know who's there.
Oh.
They do get the charm off.
Oh!
He does dash at the perfect time. If he didn't dash then, that would have been traumatic for them.
Yeah, would have died there, yeah. But thankfully for Sejuani, she lives, doesn't feed Ahri an early kill, and Echo is able to breathe a sigh of relief that his jungle didn't give away the kill there, and he's able to farm up pretty nicely.
I gotta say the quality of these players are quite high. I'm not really 100% sure what their ranks are, but they're showing some really good skill on some of their.
Ooh, nice combo.
Turbio jumped straight on. Oh, Jarvan.
Oh no.
Is a little overextended.
Oh!
Echo does pick up first blood. Ahri able to pick that up with a good counter. I would feel a little. I don't know. It was a bit of a kill trade, but I would not feel good for either player right now, being in that situation. Yeah, Echo did get that kill, but he really shouldn't have given a return kill by Ahri. It just feels bad when you get a really nice kill and it doesn't really amount to much. But Thresh does hit a hook and decides to just leave it at that.
Yeah. It's a little bit greedy of Jarvan to go for that Skull there, because he knows Ahri is out of mana, whereas Echo was pretty resourceful, as well as Sejuani was around the place. So I reckon they were pretty lucky, fortunate to get away with that trade kill. So Jarvan wasn't punished as hard. He didn't get an assist, so he might have. So he's actually pretty far behind here in terms of XP and gold. So that's unfortunate for him.
And we're gonna see Trina jumping straight back to the top lane after being a little low on health, and it's really interesting to see how both builds are going. He does engage onto Mr.
Oh, no flash.
Matrix is there to kind of back up, and Trina does pick up that kill there. And right now we do see another scalp from the bot lane. Turbio going onto Hanami, but they're able to kind of trade damage and show who has the biggest shoot in this lane.
Yeah, it's weird that this series has been showing Kai'Sa's
and
been.
another hook.
Oh, nice hook.
Hanami's just hitting all these hooks. Unfortunately, there's not too much they can do about that.
Boy,
Are
oh
we gonna
boy.
see the opposite gank on the bot lane with another 4-man gank bot, but now on the opposite side? No, they're just gonna do.
I doubt it. Jarvan's got no HP.
How
So.
sweet was that?
Oh man, yeah. I reckon we could expect that play coming soon if once Elsa hits 6, has that unstoppable force. And,
Ahri gets the charm off, but misses the Q, which is a little strange. And Echo does get off his 3 shots and his E onto that Ahri. That's immense damage. That almost is 1/3 of his health. I think it's
Yeah.
And he gets
Oh!
Ahri again. If he gets the flash auto,
Oh,
oh no! But he doesn't have Ignite. Even if the flash auto, it might not be enough.
yeah. Ahri does have flash, so I think she would have survived. But that's so much pressure that Ahri has to deal with. Has to burn her ultimate in a really unfavorable trade. So you could maybe look for Sejuani, who is looking for a gank.
Sejuani does get it off, and Ahri's gonna die. There's no
Lovely.
I'm just gonna say Trigger Matrix, like Trigger Matrix does pick up.
Oh, Yeah, so Johnny realizing that mid lane is flexing his muscles, has every cooldown available, and Ari has none on her side. So going for that play, pretty easy gank to pull off unless Ari flashes. But even then, that's a win situation, and Echo is really proving his mastery on this champion and has a 10 CS lead, has a kill and an assist. He's going to be really, really strong in early game.
In this Echo Ari matchup, as an Ari player, really need to be careful. It is a bit of a skill matchup, but I do think Echo edges it out a little more with kind of assassination potential and his ability to pop in and out of trades and team fights. What Ari needs to do in the mid lane when it is a 1v1 is she needs to hold onto her charm and kind of use that to scare Echo away. Otherwise Echo jumps straight onto you and it's pretty much a free 1/3 of your health with nothing much being done about it, and Ari needs to kind of realize that very, very soon if she does want to win the lane or not kind of be taken over, because we do see how much damage Echo's already doing with not that much resources as of yet.
Yeah, he's just burning an E and a Q and he's just taking away half of Ari's half of HP, so I have to play really careful. I can only really imagine Ari has to land so many Qs to dissuade Echo to go in like that once again, so...
Yeah, I mean, an EQW is enough, like, we see that damage right there, but Ari just... Echo does pop off the damage, he's gonna look for the ultimate and the shield, and he may be able to go back on Ari, but I don't think he's opting for it because Spectator is taking us there. For those who don't really know how Spectator works, is kind of gets those kills, assists, and big moments in the game, and kind of pans the camera towards it, which is why there is a 3-minute delay. Or part of it, there's also other reasons like cheating, etc, etc.
Yeah.
But yeah, we see that ult from Trigger Matrix being completely whiffed on Rose.
So much damage.
Absolutely demolished, able to escape in the end, just because Echo doesn't have too much potential right now. But as soon as he gets that Proto Belt or Gunblade, he's going to be so much stronger having that kind of 4th damage option after his main burst.
Yeah, and even though all the action is occurring in the mid lane around this Echo, who is doing extremely well, pressuring Ari like every moment he can. Fiora has built herself a 30 CS lead, so she's doing really well, and a nice parry onto the Ornn here. Oh, yeah, that was close.
They've just decided to leave him on his island up top. He pretty much drives him. They're gonna jump straight onto his knee. This Trigger Matrix does get his proc off. Without any mana, without much else being done, he's gonna die. But that's kind of one of the strong things about Sejuani, is once she gets that auto or that W off him, you have very little escape options, just a couple more autos and you're dead. And it really helps to have a top laner as well. I'm not sure if they know Jarvan's there. From what we've seen of Hanami so far, he's just happy to hit the hooks and show how big his hook is. But... yeah.
Oh, nice engage here, though!
Nice engage.
Oh, that was clean!
That was extremely clean. That was a Hextech flash straight onto the enemy team, and they were a bit
I think it was, and that was really well done. That was so smooth, and Varus and Thresh didn't see it coming at all. They both were standing next to each other, so they both got knocked up. There was no way for them to escape from there. At that point, it's like, you just don't burn your flash, you're just gonna have to sit there.
100%.
That was so well played.
No. Oh, and we see Trigger Matrix being kind of targeted right now.
Nice charm.
Off, and that Echo shield pops up in front of Ray. Mr.
Trigger Matrix!
Trigger Matrix. Echo being charmed at the very last moment, and I'm not sure if Trina's able to get a kill. And I think they should just back away from this and just leave it at that. Echo does have TP, so he can come back to lane straight away and kind of push and shove at that a little. But overall, just a 1-for-1, and very, very well played for both sides.
Oh,
Echo
that was close.
And Thresh is there to just kind of give a bit of vision, but that was really, really well played from Ari.
Yeah, she played it really well.
She's able to get that kill in the very last moment. And unfortunately, there was just a little too much on Mr. Me. Mr. Me not having the best game. From what we saw last game, Mr. Me was really, really good at farming. but had a tendency to die a lot.
Yeah, he died a little too much. Yeah.
Kind of trying to be too big. But yeah.
Yeah.
I'm still marveling at that a bot lane kill and that play from Tobio. Right
Yeah, that was very well done.
Kind of talking about how big Thresh's hook was, and we just saw how big how big of a head Tobio has. So you know,
big IQ plays from Tobio.
Definitely.
And they're gonna trade this Mountain Dragon for the top tower, which is not the worst thing for both teams. I think they're both at their advantages. Obviously, first tower top lane is just gonna open the map, whereas Mountain Dragon really good for the late game for this objective control. So, bit of a win-loss, neutral objective trade. We could see a dive coming through the bot lane as 5 people are poised. One has ult ready, but they have to be careful about the top because Jarvan just picked up the Rift Herald.
They picked up Herald, and they should realize that they can lose a lot of towers here right now. They do go for Mr. Me, and at this moment I feel like it's a bit of a waste. Like, he's died 3 times already, his gold values are heavily reduced. What's the point of beating a dead horse? Echo doesn't keep you to the top lane.
He can't defend this, sir. He can't.
He can't. I mean, he can try. Ornn does come back very, very soon. And he's, I gotta see what's happening there right now. They do take that tower, and I don't think they can handle it. They need to back very, very quickly. Unfortunately, they can't shove lane enough. So that one tower's gonna be enough.
Yeah, and Ahri nearly took down the mid tower. I think she might even take it with the next wave that's coming up.
Yeah, what I would have like that was a really, really good idea from. That was hilarious.
That was nice.
That's a very, very smart play.
That was very nice, yeah.
Yeah, what I would like to see from Crows just then is, yes, they took the Herald and they did get 2 towers right there, but they could have got a bit more. They could have opted to send Herald top or mid, either of them, and send like the rest of the players to the opposite lane. We see Tobio just kind of hashtag flashing again, and he's just going to do that as much as he can just to flex his big IQ.
Yeah, yeah, and there goes mid tower. So they lose
3 towers overall in that
3 towers and a Rift Herald for just 1 kill in the bot lane and 1 tower. So it was a trend in the game 1 as well. They found these pockets of opportunities to make these plays, but they were always overcommitted with the amount of members and the amount of resources they used. So it allowed Crows to maintain the split push threat. Crows were able to constantly maintain the waves in a positive manner, so they were able to capitalize on these mistakes, or not mistakes, but overcommitments by Unstoppable and get more than they lose. And it's 15 minutes in, Kai'Sa was able to go through lane phase, even though it's a Thresh who is very strong as a pair against a Alistar and a Kai'Sa, but they were able to get out fine, gets the Stormrazor 16 minutes, so Kai'Sa should be able to go into the later stage of the game very comfortably, and you have the Rock in Ahri, who has Luden's Echo already completed, so her wave clear is going to be strong, and they should be able to be very comfortable going ahead. The only main concern is Fiora, who's on the 0-4-1. She's, died a little bit too many times for our liking. Ornn has picked up a couple of kills as Russell. He might be 20 CS down, but those kills are more than enough. And obviously, Ornn is one of those champions that are very low economy. All he needs to do is press R, hit a couple of people, and his job is pretty much done. And it's very easy.
Oh, we see Ahri getting CC'd, and that is everything.
That was nice.
Amazingly executed. It was a lot. I gotta say, Lucarius' Echo is very, very clean.
Yeah.
We do see Vayne kind of doing a fair amount of damage on Cheetah. Well, not really a fair amount of damage, just a couple hits on Cheetah. We may see a gank on the top lane. No, they do realize it's happening because they do have vision there. And we do see them take away some of the vision away. Right now we have Niani pushing on mid lane. I'm not sure if this is the safest thing to do. Thresh is staying a little far behind to kind of lantern it back if he does need to.
And those are the plays that I would love to see Vita do more. Don't overcommit too many times. You have such your team comp has so many powerful ultimates. You don't need to expend more than 3 at least to secure a kill. One Sejuani ulti, one Varus ulti, that's enough to get a kill in most situations. So I really like that play, and they're a stronger team fighting, so they should be playing around this virus, trying to get him ahead in this game as soon as possible, and get this team fighting rolling.
Yeah, I mean that's kind of the things I tell to some of the kind of younger teams. If you're built for team fighting, if you like to team fight, then play that team fighting game. Don't try and do something that
Echo's in trouble.
doing. But it's really nice coming out from the bot lane. From Fiora, Jarvan is looking to kind of get a kill. So he just opted to get a little push and maybe.
Oh!
The buff, I'm not too sure, but that is a scuffle in the top lane. They are maybe going down. He does get popped off in the very last.
Oh my god, he lives.
Healing and doing enough to life steal, but Turbio is left all alone and he does get away. Once, by the way, realizes the potential pressure of the enemy team. So yeah, that was a lot happening for no real reward.
I'm very surprised Kai'Sa was able to live through that. She got hooked, she got ulted by Ornn, she got knocked up by Ornn, she got smacked by Ornn, and she still lives on 1 HP. So that was such a, that was so crazy. That was a big sigh of relief for Kai'Sa right there. And
insane.
Wow.
The only lifesteal item is the 3% from Doran's Blade.
Yeah, and maybe the odd proc of the Fleeting Footwork, but yeah, that was very close. You might see another mid play coming out from Sejuani and Val.
Yeah, what I'd like to see is pretty much Trigger Matrix should be looking to use his ultimate on cooldown, using it whenever he sees someone or a really potential or a good potential team fight or a pick. You don't always need to look for the big player, picks good enough. With this 4v4, you might be optimal. Nami does get a fight, but there's so much damage going out on Turbio, and they also steal away the buff, which feels weak, but
Fiora's here though?
They do realize Fiora's there, coming in through Echo. Fiora being targeted, not being stunned, Echo chases away. Ahri in the backline poking away with the damage. Trina getting that stun off on Ahri, and they're gonna be forced back. No one dying. Nami and Trigger Matrix coming very close to it. I'm not sure if they should Dragon. I think, by the way, should kind of be a little scared after what has happened the past 2 games. They are
just re-engaging.
And we do see the ult come back. They can re-engage. They do pick up 2 on Jarvan. It's a big fight. Without Kali there, there's so much more they can do. And they pretty much pick the whole team up. They don't get the kill. Echo is chasing Fiora. I'm not sure if he can get away. He doesn't decide to back off. And by the time all that has happened, Alistar has respawned his comeback. So it's a big fight, big damage, and really nice patient from, by the way. Playing around kind of everyone's ultimate, and then realized there was a second phase of the team fight when they did see Trina had her ult, or his ult, sorry. They could go again, and they did pick up a dragon, a tower, and 4 kills overall. What you can really say there is good fight.
Yeah, BDW is starting to warm up. They're starting to use their ultimates really effectively, even on the initial engage where they thought Ornn had the presence of mind to hold on to his ulti in case they had to re-engage. Obviously they did, and Crows were caught off guard. Jarvan was an easy kill, and they were able to get the very big prize on Inferno Dragon. So really well played, and that's what we want to see. We want to see really effective team fighting, really good use of their ultimates, and they've got some of the strongest ultimates in the game available to them, so they need to use them very wisely, and they did that in that fight, and they got rewarded really well with Team Ace.
Yeah, I think what they Crows need to realize is they don't have that damage potential they did last game. They don't have the same type of assassin. The enemy team has much better CC, much better team fight right now, and what they do have is that pick potential. Unfortunately, it feels like right now, by the way, has been doing the better picks. But look, you gotta realize what your team comp is made for, what kind of pieces in the puzzle you have in the fight, and that's just kind of.
Oh my goodness!
That is insane damage.
Oh, she lives though. I don't know about Kai'Sa in a 1v1 situation against Echo. I feel like Ahri should be in that situation, or at least Fiora. Kai'Sa in that situation is really scary, but at least she gets to live, doesn't burn the kill instinct, doesn't burn a summoner.
Baron started off, and I'm not sure it's the smartest idea to start a Baron.
Oh, Echo's
They're
TPing.
doing it. This is, in my opinion, not a great idea.
This could be, yeah, this
They
is
do have
really
a
risky.
5-3, and they do end up maybe picking up Mr. Lee. No, they don't.
I
They
think he's
leave
gone.
it that. They're gonna leave for another pick, and yeah, I think that's overall wasted. I do think Echo could have stayed bot, kept on pushing towers. Even if they did keep on going, it just doesn't feel like the safest, smartest idea. They're already, they're not far ahead, but they should feel like they're ahead. They don't actually know their gold counts, but they should feel a lot stronger with just the kills. And being that far ahead, you don't want to give away a lead right now, especially with the Jarvan Kai'Sa potential. If Jarvan does get any good ults off Kai'Sa, she's gonna win her way to kind of destroying the enemy team. But we just gotta wait and see what happens and what both team opts to do.
Yeah, I feel like they wanted to force that play because they saw Kai'Sa and Asa on the bot side of the map, so they were like, okay, let's do it 5v3 on the Baron. Obviously, Baron is really tanky. Doesn't do a lot of damage, but is really tanky, and they don't have that many damage resources on the side of BDW. They only have a Varus and
It's
Echo.
too much Varus with Winsters and
Yeah, exactly. So it's a very long Baron team for them. So if they want to take Baron, they need to at least kill off a couple of members or at least the Jarvan. So
yeah, it's just way too risky, especially considering how much kind of steal potential the enemy team does have. Jarvan can easily EQ in. He doesn't have flash, and I'm not sure if they did know that. But there was many options for them to kind of re-engage in this fight. Yeah, I really want to see that Echo back onto the bot lane. I don't think anyone can really handle Echo right now,
oh, 1v1 here.
unless he plays it horribly. Yeah, they're just
Still,
giving Ornn that kind of CS from the bot lane. Despite being so far behind, it's really interesting to see how Fiora has still maintained a CS advantage.
Yeah, she has, and even though she's got 4 deaths to her name, it's still a Fiora. She's still going to be a really annoying threat to deal with in maybe the next 10 minutes. They need to really look for these plays before Fiora hits that point where she can single-handedly take apart this team fighting comp with her split pushing.
Yeah, no doubt. It's important to remember, farming can be considered a skill as well.
Yeah, definitely.
You know, some people farm better than others, and that's wave management, or just being there at the right time or place, or maybe it's just how the team likes to play, and they just like to leave waves pushed in, so he can just sit in the back and farm up. All these viable options.
Yeah.
Yeah, right now it just kind of feels like, by the way, has fizzled a little bit. They're really not too sure of what they should be doing. They sent Ornn to clear bot lane, and now Echo to the top lane, and they see that not all the outer turrets are gone, so that might be the next easy option to take. But I just feel like they're a little clueless right now, and I'm not sure it's because of some of the mentality issues from last game kind of overextending. But
Yeah. And I would really like to see them a little bit more forceful, because in a 4v4 and a 5v5 situation, they're just so much stronger than a team comp by Crows. They catch one person, at least Jarvan or even an Alistar, they can burst down really effectively. So I just want to see them use their ultimates a little bit more and create more opportunities. And I guess we'll see them group up for the dragon. I know which dragon it is.
But as long as they're not aiming
Cloud.
Fiora or Ahri, I really feel like Trigger Matrix should just send out the ult and just
They're going for Fiora
go
here.
for a bit of a Hail Mary. I think Fiora can get away.
Yeah,
she's
she's
just
fine.
a little too fast and has a bit too much map mobility. We see
Oh, 1v1.
Vaya going 1v1 straight onto Necarius, and now it's a 2v1. I'm not sure if he can get away. He does get that ult off, and he looks too bad. Almost getting that kill off in the very end. Just missing that final real attack.
Does he get him?
Unfortunately, he does not get him. Now it's a 1v1 against Crows. They do take the dragon in the bot side for nothing. So look, if you said it's a 1-for-1, a 1 for nothing, or 1 for nothing in a dragon, I'd take it. But no, it looks like there's going to be a little bit more. Charm goes out on Thresh. Thresh a little bit too tanky for anything big to happen. By the way, getting ahead in the very last second. I'm not sure if he can get away. He doesn't. But a massive.
Varus though.
Oh,
Varus?
Alistar jumps back straight in. I think Ari's a little too far behind. Does get that kill at the very end. Does flash really nicely. Nami kind of overstaying. And Niani just popped off there. He got a perfect Q and auto in the very last moment.
Wow.
Wow.
That looked really rough for Unstoppable, but thank God the Varus player, Niani, is popping off. He played that fight super well. He didn't put himself in a position to die. He got low a couple of times, but he was able to flash out from the charm. Really well played from Niani, and he keeps his team into the game. That looked really rough for them until that play happened. And you might see Ornn being caught out trying to take the scuttle.
Yeah, and they might re-engage onto Veil. Veil kind of all alone right now. Jarvan just saying, go fend for yourself and work this out.
Run, Jarvan! Oh! That's huge. This could be Baron.
This must be Baron. I'm a little disappointed in PMA right now. Jarvan really should have re-engaged. At that point, you do not leave your 80s. We saw how long Veil survived all on himself 1v3. If Jarvan jumped in EQ ult, it would have knocked a couple people up and would have had a really good opportunity to turn that fight with how strong Veil was. He has 3 full items, and I guess that's a bit of miscommunication or kind of a lack of trust in the teammate right there, which is a bit sad. And we see a EQ just going straight onto the Alistar, and Alistar is popped off. Echo kind of doing everything he has, and this match may be going to a game 3. It looks like, by the way, it's kind of storming through right now.
Yeah, and they still have quite a lot of resources. They still have the Ornn ulti, they still have Echo ulti. Keep pushing with the Baron buff.
Yeah, I think they're not going to do it. They just know that Trigger Matrix is a bit short, and they want to be a little safe. I think they know how strong Veya is, considering she kind of took down half the health of 3 people in a 1v3. That's the power of happening. That is insane. That's the power of not a sort of AP hybrid Hurricane build where you can able to stack up multiple plasma stacks on multiple people and blocking that. So in a team fight situation, in a little skirmish, Kai'Sa is very strong with that build. But onto that Jarvan where, if you're Jarvan, you are gotta commit either one or two decisions. You either run back or you commit with the Kai'Sa, and he tried to do both and got punished. Yeah,
as a result, they lost the Baron.
Moment. It should not have happened there.
Oh, this is interesting though. Can Fiora?
Oh, he doesn't get that last proc off. He was just a little too scared to. If he did, he would have been winning.
Yeah, I feel like it's more important that Echo survives this so that Fiora can't keep pushing. And as a result, BTW is able to keep pushing on the top lane, and this 4-man strong, really tanky, really team fight presence is really going to be hard to stop for Crows. Oh, that hook miss hit. Yeah, I don't see this tower being... Oh, Ari goes for a play, but misses. Echo does her TPs, pushing in the bot lane, and there's a X-Flash, but nothing cancels it. And yeah, this 4-man strong is going to be really hard to stop. Oh, nice ulti from
Right now, we get a really good job in ultimate, but I'm not sure where Veya is. Veya is right in the middle of...
Veya?
Yep. Oh, Veya's on the side, and... Is that a pentakill? Is that a pentakill?
Is it?
Oh, no.
Oh, it was nearly a penta!
Echo's
but
gonna
in
get
the
one
end...
more in Tobio. Oh, he doesn't.
I think he... Oh, man.
Oh, that was so close.
Oh. But all in all, BTW profits so much from it because they get the minion hit, they get possibly this Nexus Tower going down with his super minions, bashing it down. One more hit will take it down. And even though it was a quadra kill for Kai'Sa, they lose a lot of their base. They lose another inhibitor in the top lane, and things are going from bad to worse, even though Veya gets a huge play.
Yeah, this is what I'm saying. If Jarvan kind of did a couple things earlier on, I'm not going to put all the blame on Jarvan, but the team itself should realize the potential Veya had and look to fight a lot earlier on. It was kind of getting from okay to bad to worse, and to now this situation. If they looked to take a fight earlier on and not slowly concede, they would have had a chance at least. And we see how strong Veya is. She got 4 kills when she was 4 kills when she was 2-2 at that time, and that's just really powerful. The fact that she's amounted to 300 gold or 300 CS means she has the potential to pop off. You just need to give her that opportunity, and with an opportunity like that, you can see what happens. But Echo is just one of those champions. It's really hard to deal with at times.
Yeah, with most of her front line down, Kai'Sa couldn't receive the peel to finish off the Echo, but at least Kai'Sa right now was able to instantly finish off her IE, so going into the next fight, she's going to be an even bigger threat, and if she gets another 5 seconds to just freely auto-attack, then I could expect maybe a pentakill in the next team fight, but we'll see how they play around this Inferno Dragon.
Yeah, and we've seen Icarius getting a little engaged on, and I'm not sure if too much is going to amount from this. Crows realize it's maybe the last fight of the game, so they're looking to bring it to the enemy team. This is kind of the last opportunity for them to win. Icarius jumps onto Ahri in the back line. Right now, he pops back. Hanami is in the back front line, and he does die. Vea is being engaged on, but it's a 3v1. And look, Crows may win this, but the lane is being pushed in. It's a 3v4 right now, and base is being pushed in. And by the way, realizes that as long as they stop the backs and kind of force them away, they can win this game through minions, and they choose to just take the safe option, take all the towers away. They should be able to get the next 2 towers. I'm a little. I think the Icarius could have done a little better in that team fight right there. He decided to ult really far away.
Oh my goodness!
Straight onto.
He survived that.
He does get popped off by Echo. Echo just having too much damage on the Lich Bane. He gets charmed in the very last moment, and in the end, that Niani is gonna die without getting a kill.
That's so close.
Let's look at that base. That base is going down. Let's see its gold. It's on 2k health, 1.6, 1.5, 1k health. It doesn't love it's dropping 600
Oh my god, TP coming in! It's an on! It's an on!
One is doing it, 500 health, 400 health. He gets knocked away. And
oh my god, he's gonna die! Oh my goodness!
Oh, is Thresh gonna go for a try? It's on 600 health. He's not.
Oh, in order. At least Fiora. Oh my goodness. Thankfully, the minions for BTW was able to take down the bot inhibitor as well. So, wow, that was very close to GG. But on the thread of their life, Crows are able to stay in this game. Oh boy.
Yeah, the
and that is coming up.
If Echo can sneak his way in, it's just an E. E auto attack, and that's a dead nexus. AP champions with Lich Bane, especially with a steroid attack, do so much damage.
His TP, his TP is up in like 60 seconds, so he might look to
I'm
go that
surprised he
play.
didn't put a ward down. Oh, he didn't have any space to put a ward down, but
there is a blue ward. There's a blue ward inside the. So.
You can't TP to them, can you?
No, you can't. Is that a chicken one? Wait. Oh no, that's a normal one. That's a normal one. You can't TP to that one. So he could look to go for that. I'm not sure if it will because it's a bit greedy. But
Oh wait, that is a normal ward. Wait, what? Can you?
You can. Yes, you can.
Okay.
Anyway,
right,
starting back.
Engaged. Vea is really far.
No, Kai'Sa.
Echo's doing it. Sorry. Kai'Sa's
Echo!
far away. Echo's doing it. Alright, let's ignore this fight. I wanna watch Echo.
Watch Echo!
Right.
Wait! Oh, it's GG! I don't see this. Yeah, it's
Too
over.
bad, guys.
XPK for the win. Any backs for the disrespect. Oh god, and GG.
We go to a game 3. That was an exciting game. This has been a really great series so far.
It has been. I think both teams are really recognizing the win conditions and playing around them. This time, the team fighting capabilities on BTW, they were a lot more efficient with their ultimate usage and really were able to flex their muscles in these big team fights, which is what they wanted to do.
Yeah, no doubt. So we're gonna go to game 3 and to a short break, and bring you back the game very, very shortly.
in the sky, gazing far into the night. I raise my hand to the fire, but it's no use, 'cause you can't stop it from shining through. It's true, baby, let the light shine through. If you believe it's true, baby, won't you let the light shine through for you, for you, for you, for you, for you, for you, won't you let the light shine through? In the sky, gazing far into the night. I raise my hand to the fire, but it's no use, 'cause you can't stop it from shining through. It's true, baby, let the light shine through. If you believe it's true, baby, won't you let the light shine through for you, for you, for you, for you, for you, for you,
Alright, and we're back with the last game of the series. We've taken it down to game 3 of the best of 3 series between Karasune and Crows
Yes,
and Unstoppable,
Good
by
to
the
know.
way. It's been an extremely close series between both teams. Crows playing excellently in game 1, and by the way, playing very, very well in game 2 as well. And it's really hard to see how it's going to turn out. This game, we see Crows being on the blue side again, just like they did in the previous match. So I think, by the way, preferring the red side for the final game.
Yeah, and on to game 2. Going into game 2, you know, Unstoppable BTW had a really rough game 1. They were absolutely demolished by the really fed Akali and really fed Jax, but it was really nice to see them pull back, stick to their game plan, stick to their guns, and go back into game 2 with a refreshed mind and pull out with a victory and a really strong performance from every member of their team. They all had their moments of brilliance, and especially I think it was Trine on Niquarius on the Echo, you know, pulling through. He was the one that denied the Penta. He was the one that XKK'd the base at the very end. He was just a really big force, and if he gets his hands on his Echo again, then we'll
Wait, they're not banning it.
They didn't ban it again. So
What?
Crows is really wanting this strategy to go through. They are same 3 bans all 3
What?
games and the same first pick for all 3 games. So they are focused on this 4 champion rotation to start every game.
I don't understand.
Yeah, neither. Like, Echo is the one factor that has been a thorn in your side for the first 2 games, and you leave it up. So maybe his Kassadin's even stronger than before, something that they haven't factored in, and he might have a risk. No, okay. So yeah, we'll see if Necrosis gets his hands on it again.
I have no idea.
Yeah, if someone's playing well in the champion, just ban it. Like, we've seen teams in even the world stage, you know, they think they can deal with it, but they, in the end, just lose to it because the person playing it is just too good on that champion.
Yeah,
so.
I mean, it doesn't look like anyone on Karasuno Crows plays Echo, which is a bit unfortunate considering Echo can be flexed into top jungle or the mid lane. And it feels like it's something that either mid laner or top laner can pick, just because of the champions they pick so far. Barcode pretty much liking some of the more assassinated or assassin focused champions, and the same thing in the top lane, some of the more carry melee oriented champions, and Echo kind of fits a box in both places, so it's a bit strange we don't see Echo ban going out, and right now we don't really see Echo being picked for Unstoppable by the way. So does this mean they don't want to show it yet just because there's that chance of countering? Which is probably... a bit strange because Echo's one of those champions that are really hard to counter. You can just pick it up into anything and just kind of, if you're not doing well, just farm waves safely and just kind of wait the game.
Yeah, exactly. I feel like Echo provides a lot, even though if you're behind or not, he still has that huge zone control with the CC, so there's a lot of wave clear, and he still can do a crap ton of damage if he lands this full combo. So he might get a ban on the second phase. There we go. There's Echo ban, and that's what we like to see. So no more Echo for Aquarius. He has to play a new champion this game.
We gotta see him on a different champion. I'm not really sure how that's gonna go, and you know, if they lose, it's just gonna feel really bad because they did have the opportunity to pick it. They didn't need to pick Sejuani with Jarvan already being picked, but look, it's some teams don't value pick ban as much, and they're just kind of happy to pick what comes when it comes, and kind of show their strength when it on the battlefield.
Yeah, it's probably BTW's philosophy of let's just reserve our last picks for the top and middle counter picks, which is a strategy that is very normal for most teams, you know, because solo laners are the most matchup heavy reliant in the game, so you'd expect that. And Unstoppable, by the way, has pretty much picked the same 4 champions as last game. Meanwhile, Crows are switching from the Alistar to the Braum, so more peeling, more CC, more AoE ability in these team fights, and a little bit more team fight focused support.
We see a very safe option, Orianna, which also provides a lot of you know, team fight potential and support capabilities. I really like this pick coming out from for Barcode with that Jarvan, with that Braum, and there's just a lot of follow up with that. So I'm really excited to see how that goes, and it also works really well for Sejuanis and Threshers, or even Ornns that engage. You can catch them off. You see a Gragas for the top lane?
Okay. It could even be jungle, so we'll see where that goes. But it looks like Crows this time around is like, okay, you want to play team fight? We're going to play team. They drafted a really standard composition, no split push, no heavy split push threat. Just really solid scaling in both the AD carry and the Orianna, and Jarvan and Gragas, obviously 2 really beefy frontliners that provide a lot of engagement. And Necrosis with the Veigar! That's a change from Echo.
That's a very, very different champion.
Yeah!
One thing I gotta say though is I hate Gragas on that team. It's like, I don't know how else to put it, but you want everyone together, and then you're gonna knock them all away? Please don't.
It is interesting. We'll see how they play.
You can't imagine there being that many players being so good at Gragas that they're just gonna ult someone into an Orianna ult already with him. That would be insane to see. If that happens, I'll give him a skin. But
That would be amazing to watch, but
it's just one of those champions that kind of go against the team comp style. And yes, Gragas does provide CC and it's great. Look, they may be using him as more of a disengage option, but Gragas can go very, very Ori, very, very fast, and it's a lot of danger in playing Gragas, especially with an inexperienced player on him. So I'm not sure if he has many Gragas games on him right now, but let's do a...
check. Oh, it is top Gragas actually, and jungle Jarvan obviously, yes. Jarvan was played jungle last 3 games, so.
Yeah, I mean, Gragas has been played 10 games, but with a 40% win rate, so I'm not sure if it's the best pick here. I think he does play jungle as well, so he's picking Gragas jungle.
Okay.
So, I'm a bit confused here. I'm not sure why he didn't pick Fiora again. Maybe he just wasn't happy with how the previous game went with Fiora.
Yeah, I feel like they just wanted to change the direction.
Yeah, there was a lot of CC as well.
Yeah,
I would have liked to have seen. Oh no, Ryze was banned. I guess they already realized that he was very good in Ryze. His Ryze is a 73% win ratio.
Oh wow,
3.4 KDA. So
that is insane. Well, okay.
Look, it makes sense that they banned it out, but yeah, that's very interesting.
Yeah, that is interesting.
I guess
it's a very different champion. Very different.
Yeah,
a lot
and
tankier, a lot more engaged.
Yeah, just scrolling through the other champions he plays, they don't really fit as well in a team. Champions like Singed, Garen.
Oh, he could play Singed.
There was an Olaf. I would have liked to have seen his Olaf. Actually thinking about it, Olaf would have been a perfect pick into their team comp and into the enemy team composition.
Yeah, true.
With so much CC, they need someone to kind of provide that like 100% frontline option just to jump straight onto the Varus or Vega.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, maybe he only plays the jungle, or maybe he's not too confident on it, and sometimes you just forget you play these champions. And then you pick something else that's suboptimal. Meanwhile, let's see how confidently Carius is on
Yeah, I'm very interested in
Vega.
Yeah. Again, providing a lot of zone control. Similar to Echo, has the cage that it's able to zone people off away from towers and away from team fights. So
interestingly enough, Vega has only been played once, and it was a loss. So.
Oh, is this by Nicarius?
Yeah, the other champions he played is the Kassadin that's banned out. There was Zoe, which kind of is a risky champion. There was the Ahri again. Yeah, I mean, there isn't too much. There was the Zed that he seems very confident on. 3 wins with a 8.8 KDA. Something like that would have been really nice to have seen, especially into the Orianna. So, it's just very, very interesting to see. Right, so we're going to be jumping into game very shortly.
Yeah, I can see that. They don't have much damage sources, and to stack it all in AD could be risky, especially if the game goes too long. Gragas and Jarvan could just build straight armor and just not take any damage. So. Yeah, definitely. Yeah. Still loading the screen. It's on like 0, just loading the modules. All right. Yep, 1-5. Yep. Whoa. Ah, man. Yeah, I. No, losing, yeah, that was big. But I am honestly just very disappointed. Mainly Schönfire, you know, he works so hard for the whole year. He goes and has this incredible run in OPL. He's hyped up as this the MVP of the OPL, the best jungler in Oceania. He goes out to Korea and gets himself banned for 2 games, and then he goes into the last 2 games and gets absolutely destroyed by a wildcard jungler and then a jungler from EDG. But it's just really frustrating to see Skywolves just bend over and just not perform to what we really wanted. This is their one chance. They had a really good group this year, I reckon, and they just flunked it. It was really disappointing. Yeah, like I feel like Udisoft, like even though he wasn't experienced, he played to what the team needed, you know, and he just didn't tilt. That was the main thing. Like I feel like Schönfire just tilted a lot. Like when both games, he suffered early deficits and just never found a way to come back. Whereas Udisoft, he got killed in game 1 against Infinity, but then he worked his way up and played within the team and allowed Triple to make these amazing Azir plays and got back in that way. I feel like Udisoft really proved his worth in that game. Yeah, I am. That's true, yeah.
Welcome to Summoner's Rift.
Yeah, that's true, yeah.
30 seconds until minions spawn.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that. Yeah. Yeah.
Minions have spawned.
That is true.
I am muted, so that was really unfortunate. I said everything for no reason, but that's fine. That is absolutely okay.
Hopefully I'm not muted. Okay, I'm muted.
Thank you for the person who messaged me to tell me I am muted.
No.
I would have gone the whole game without realizing, which is nice. Thank you to who that was.
Dear.
I'll give a shout out. Let's figure out who that was.
Thank God.
Caster Sugar.
Mr. Sugar, thank you.
Thank you. You're unstoppable by the way, sub. You're an absolute legend.
Oh, that would have been so awkward.
Right, so
But
yeah.
It was unfortunate, but hopefully OC doesn't get a first showing at MSI and next World, so... But enough of that, let's jump into this game, and... I expect pretty same stuff, farming for the first 6 levels, and then we'll see explosive team fighting around the area.
I just realized my graphics are on the wrong side as well. I am
my
all
God.
over the place this game. Let's fix that one up.
Alrighty.
Alright, so to the viewers at home, by the way is on the red side, and Crows is on the blue side. Okay, everything should be fixed, we just gotta fix the in-game graphics. So jungler in their jungle positions, support in their support positions, ADC in their ADC positions, and top and mid laners where they should be. Sitting in their lane, just farming.
Yeah. And yeah, well, I guess we won't see too much in the early game here. Very identical team styles from both teams, and then each lane isn't much of an advantage.
Yeah,
Even though Varus is stronger than Kai'Sa. Oh, nice hook!
Gets an E! Rom does pop off his shield, but that was a nice bit of damage there. A nice.
Yeah, Anami is actually really good at timing his hooks so that when the minions ice, it goes through and it hits the hook when he doesn't expect it. So he is been pretty proactive with those hooks. Hasn't been paid off in lane too much, but hopefully he keeps on doing that because he's creating a lot of pressure. Oh, nice.
I think it's really nice to see how the Braum does play with his hooks. He does like to send them out, but he doesn't like to follow and go all the way in.
Yeah.
He's just kind of like a fisherman that, you know, he gets the fish but releases it back into the sea because they're not ready to eat. They're not big enough, and he only wants them big fish.
Exactly. That's what I feel like most Thresh players fall and trap into. They take every hook they get, except not wanting to just trade, but also just could go all in. But if you go all in against a Braum Kai'Sa, that could be really dangerous because that's a lot of CC, that's a lot of passive stacks for the Kai'Sa to free hit onto you, so that could turn really sour for you.
You gotta remember, in these early stages of the game, minions do so much damage, so you just gotta be aware. And I thought he hit another hook, and we see Jarvan kind of walking down, picking up his bottom side jungle. Both junglers very, very even. I was gonna say Jarvan more even than Sejuani because he is picking up that one more camp. So it's not wrong, but it is no, it actually definitely is wrong. It's
not a good phrase to say. Yeah, but I guess both junglers haven't really seen too much to capitalize on. Both mid laners are even. The top laners are even. It's gonna be a slow game compared to the last two.
I'm gonna point out how interesting it is that Mr. Me always has a CS advantage no matter what.
He does. Like, he might die a lot, but he gets a lot of CS. He's an aggressive player that really wants his farm. And you can see, like, just from that, like, he's willing to trade health for just one castle minion.
He screwed that one up.
Oh well.
That's the curse.
Whoops. That's the curse. Okay. But yeah, but from this top lane, it doesn't really matter how much CS of a lead you get because I think both top laners are looking to team. So don't expect, even if they do get a CS lead, it won't amount to much as long as both of them have their tank items. It's a neutral sort of trade.
We see another EQ going in. Hanami does take a lot of damage. A heal coming out before that Ignite comes out, which is really, really well played by Niani. And overall, I'd say that trade was a win for the side of Crows.
Definitely.
We see Sejuani coming in. There's no vision. There's no vision. They can do this. This is a free game.
Oh,
flash.
good flash!
Perfectly done. What are you doing, Trigger Matrix? Get him. Get him.
Can you get the stun?
Get that stun. Get that stun. Alright.
Is Flay up? No, it's not. Okay.
Mate. What a game.
Oh, that was good. But you gotta criticize Crows there for being pushed up into that really dangerous pocket of the lane where your minions aren't being hit by a tower.
And Mr. Me getting completely engaged.
Wait, he's level 6!
Oh, he gets off. He's gonna get one more auto, one more hit, and he'll get that. Trina gets that kill.
Mr. Me just can't stop dying. I just feel like, oh my goodness. Game 1 he gets solo killed in level 2. Game 2 he nearly gets killed as a Fiora against Ornn, and Game 3 he just gets solo killed by Ornn, so.
You know what he needs to do? He needs to play Nasus. Jarvan looking to gank mid lane. Icarius all by himself. He goes in on Barcode. Oh, missing that flash ult. And Trigger Matrix struggling against that blue buff. Auto that.
Yeah, smart though. Oh, he's
handing it over. How nice and pleasant of him. What a good jungler.
Thank goodness.
If you ever play with me on your team, I will never give you the blue buff. You will never get the first one. Chances are you won't get the second one. And then
you're that jungler. You're that jungler that tilts me to death.
I don't believe in giving mid laners blue buff because it's one of those things where you shouldn't expect it. It's a privilege if
that's true. That is true.
But you can't expect it. Like, I expect you to win your lane without blue buff. It's not a requirement. I don't see the enemies always getting blue buff. You shouldn't deserve that privilege.
That's true. Like, if you really want that blue buff, you better be wielding that lane really hard before 7 minutes when the blue buff respawns.
If you're winning that lane super hard, you still don't get it. You don't need that.
That's true. If you're a mage, you've already got that mana regen item. If you're on the mage, you don't Buster. I see that. I see that.
if you follow the page, Asian subtle traits, I believe a lot of things on it are correct. You know, we have our fathers who've worked very hard, and quite often in life they say, you know, I didn't get this when I was younger, you shouldn't, and I stand by that. So, when I'm older and I have my children, I'm gonna tell them, you know, when I was younger, I didn't have great internet, so I'm not giving you NBN, but I'll have it. I'll give you a crappy version of internet. These are the things kids need to experience. They need to experience dial-up. They need to experience some of the bad things in life. While I'm talking about this, Mr. B is experiencing some of the bad things in life. He's dead. He's gone. Get out of here.
Mr. B, no! Oh, Mr. Me. Alrighty, well, when you're pushed up against on no wards, no flash, Sejuani just walks up and kills him. Oh, that's just
like right now we're just seeing his inexperience on the champion itself. We're gonna see Trigger Matrix go straight onto Crows. I don't think Crows should stay. This is gonna be a very interesting 3v3.
You can swap. Okay.
He doesn't get that smite away. He messes his Q up. This is gonna be a 3v3.
Oh, there we go. Oh, Vega does a lot of damage.
If he sent another W or Q... Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that was a bit greedy from BTW there.
Yeah, it wasn't just greedy, it was mis-executed. Once you miss that smite, you leave. And not only that, he missed his Q.
He missed his charge, exactly.
Like, that's kind of those... Like, someone clip that. If you have a friend watching, clip that and just send it over to Trigger Matrix. If they lose, blame it on that.
Oh, that was a gift for Crows. Thank God they got that. They were looking rough. They were losing top lane really hard. And oh, Lucaris, nice stun.
He keeps missing the canyon minion. He's doing my head in.
Don't miss cannons, guys. It's 60 gold. Don't miss it. And it's a lot of micro stacks too.
He chose to go for the trade rather than the minion.
Yeah.
You know what?
Yeah.
It's another fun fact in life. It's more important to kill the small fries than the one big one. It just feels more satisfying. We see PMA jump straight onto Nicarius and he doesn't have much follow-up. He doesn't have his ult up, so an EQ is all he can do. We see bot lane just kind of doing their standard stuff. Hook goes out on Braum.
It's gonna be bad.
Re-engaging straight on Hanami, popping his ultimate, and Hanami almost dying. No, he won't die. This is a 1v2 right now. Oh, and Yanni, if he did that any earlier, he would have died. He popped off that potion at the very last moment as well, but I don't think it would have saved him. It's just a little bit too short.
Oh boy, and very big victory from the Braum and Kai'Sa, and obviously Braum at this stage of the game at level 6, he is probably the best support in a sense of the 2v2 situation because he provides so much utility and so much CC, and allows Kai'Sa to just free hit in the backline and be uncontested. And meanwhile, like, Braum is just putting up his shield and you just don't take any damage.
Yeah, something interesting to note is despite all that happening and all that stuff that happened in top lane and the dominance there, the team that's winning right now is Crows. They are ahead, 500 gold ahead of the enemy team, and if we look where that is, that's in the jungle.
Oh wow, 20
Jungle's 20 CS ahead in the jungle, and that's 5 camps, and 5 camps is a lot. That's almost one whole camp. Burning off the flash on Barcode right there.
Yeah, proactive play from Hanami there. Looking for the opportunity, he knows that if he hit that's an instant death because into a chain of the gates, and good flash from Orianna to stay away from that, but again, it opens up an opportunity for the Sejuani whose ultimate is just really hard to dodge, and if you get hit by that, you're pretty much dead without a flash.
Is that Sejuani doing Herald? Let's get an eye on that.
I think it is.
Yeah, this is the slowest Herald I've ever seen. Someone please help him.
I don't think On is...
This is actually the slowest Herald.
On doesn't care, he's like, I'm saying you're lame, bro. You can take it. Oh dear.
This is actually the slowest Herald.
Oh, finally On's like, alright, fine, I'll come and help you. Oh, he's just walking past and running. He doesn't give a crap. Oh, poor Sedge. And Arga is ganked on.
Yeah,
A
he
good
gets
flash.
the Herald in the very last moment.
Oh dear.
He's doing well for his team. He's taking good team options, but he needs to catch up in gold. If we look
Yeah.
at Jarvan, he is 800 gold ahead, and that's pretty big at this point. He already has his upgraded jungle item.
Oh. River trade, nothing much. Something I haven't seen much of is Predator on Sejuani, and you usually see Aftershock because of her engaged potential and her wanting to dive in and proccing that Aftershock so that she's super tanky. Or the fleeting footwork maybe if you want more sustain or more clearing speed. But going with the Predator this time, she hasn't been able to make it work so far because she hasn't found these proactive ganks yet, so we'll see if it pays off in the later season.
Personally, I don't think Predator is. I think it's a great. I was gonna say summon spell, but a great skill option to have. But it's great when you actually use it. It's kind of
Yeah, she hasn't used it yet. Yeah.
irrelevant. You want to be ganking a lot, and I'm not seeing that right now.
Oh no, so kill attempt.
Yeah, I think
Okay.
Gragas is just learning to play a little safer and just sitting
Yeah.
back. He doesn't need to go for every gold or every CS. That's fair. But yeah, I really
Just
like
farm
to
your
see
barrels.
Sejuani, all she needs to do is walk into the enemy jungle and go from behind. Just chuck an ultimate. That's where I
Yeah.
see some of the waste of Predator. Sejuani's just about finding those good moments, clearing a vision, and then just doing that big ultimate when you can.
Yeah, I feel like it is a bit of a point of criticism that we've gone to Trigonatrix, and he's had a tendency to just slack off and not be proactive with his ultimate. You have one of the strongest ultimates in the game at level 6, just straight off the bat. A huge AOE CC. If you miss it, it grants a huge slowing field, so there's not much loss if you miss it anyway. So
That's going to be another dragon to
and it's infernal,
two
isn't
crows.
it?
It's two Infernals right now.
Two
Trigger
Infernals,
Matrix
yeah.
engaging onto Zinko, and he's looking for the
Oh, he could
ultimate.
be. He's too far.
Gets an
Is he?
ultimate just on Braum. That doesn't do too much. That's a two-man.
Oh, nice
That's a
shockwave.
two-man shockwave followed by a Jarvan ultimate. PMA going a little too deep in, and that's a TP from Gragas in the backline. Hanami escaping in the very last moment, almost getting popped off by that ultimate. And we see a hook coming in the very last moment, and he goes a bit too deep.
Whoops.
Barco picking off that kill in the very last moment for Hanami. Hanami's doing something a bit uncharacteristic, which is kind of greeting on a kill.
Yeah, and that's when you get funneled into a corner, like against the Orianna and the Braum, you're going to be multi-man hit by a lot of ultimates, and that's what happened. And they pull away from that team fight with a pretty nice win, and in from the Dragon for themselves. So a lot of victories in that fight, and yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna make a couple criticisms right now. If they knew or had a suspicion of the enemy team doing Dragon, which they should have because 3 or 4 people were down there, they should have went in on the Dragon rather than in a random brush. It's not
That's true.
optimal to fight there. Second
Yeah.
thing is, as Sejuani, please do not get an ult off on the Braum when there are other options.
Yeah, please, yeah. And if you do, just back off. Like, you're not winning that team, the tank,
Like-
or the Braum. So,
There are so many different alternatives, especially with this type of comp. I would have liked to see like you either go in on the Dragon or you use your Herald onto the mid lane or any lane really, and then you force them back with the Herald, and then you look for your ultimate, which is easily followed up by two or three other forms of CC. Thresh can hook, Varus can ultimate straight after, and Nikaris can chuck out his prison straight onto them. And I'm surprised they didn't take any of those options. They're opting for kind of, not to be rude, but the kind of the play that you just see rather than the play that you think about. And right now we see Trigger Matrix being re-engaged onto, but there's the wars come out on the
Fights everywhere.
Now there's a fight in the bot lane. Yanni picking up 1 kill, and Zinko going down. And in the bot lane, we're gonna go back straight onto that. What happened?
Wow.
Orianna does get killed. I kind of want to watch that replay, but that means we gotta pause and go back. What are your thoughts?
yeah, that
Tyler?
was... Yeah, we could do that. I
Alright,
doubt there
let's-
would be too much.
alright. Let's go back and look at the times. That's 17:30. Okay. We'll start at. Can you get to 17:33?
Yep.
Right, let me know when you're there.
I'm there right now.
Alright, on 3 we'll start again and watch mid lane instead. Right.
Okay.
3, 2, 1, now.
So yeah, we have the Rift Tower coming in. We have the engage from the Jarvan. The cage comes through, which is really nice. Blocks off both Jarvans and Gragas. We re-engage with Sejuani ulti, and here comes On. Full HP.
Oh, and he gets that big ultimate off. And they re-engage, he goes straight back on and gets that kill.
Very nice.
Yeah, very, very nice fight overall.
Yeah, and Nicarius on that Vigar is so annoying with that cage because, as I said, it offers so much zone control and it's so hard to maneuver around that cage. So it really hindered Gragas's and Jarvan's plot to try and assassinate that Sejuani. So I guess we just jump forward back to...
2 turrets. 3 turret exchange overall. That was a really, really good map play by the way.
Yeah. Should we resync, I think? I think there's another fight at 20 minutes.
Are you at 1840 right now?
Can we go there?
1845? What's happening? We should be at the same time.
Oh, I accidentally paused. I'll go to 18.5. Okay.
I'll pause at 19 for you.
Okay. I'll do that. Alright, 19 now.
Alright, awesome. Look at Ornn forging that sword. You forged that sword. You know what would be interesting? To see Doran as a champion.
Yeah, he has a lot of lore in this game. Pretty nice to see. But I guess they want to keep him as mystery.
It would be fun to see some really interesting, or maybe not so interesting depending on who you are, kind of mechanics or passives. I'd like to see kind of Doran starting off with giving everyone on his team some sort of item. I think that would be really, really interesting. We see Trina trying to get engaged on, but there's nothing much that can happen. How cool would that be? You know, you have Ornn where everyone on your team can kind of upgrade an item. Imagine Doran, everyone getting like a Doran shirt.
A Doran just like plus 5 HP or something. Oh no, wait. Oh, a bit of a clash.
That right there is the strength
wow.
of Varus. Now, fortunately, Gragas does ult them away perfectly. Trina doing a 1v2, missing his ultimate, and he's gonna go down. I'm not sure if there's much he can do about that. There's so much CC on the side of Crows in the bottom lane right there, and they may be able to get that tier 2 bottom tower in exchange for the tier 1 top lane tower on the opposite side of the map.
Yeah, so both teams are just trading blows, you know. One team is, as soon as one team gets an advantage, the other team gets another advantage, so both of them are trading a lot in this game, and they get, I think Crows get the advantage on the bot side, whereas BW, a flash away from the Crows, which is a pretty big cooldown. Hook misses, and that should be fine.
Could you just for a moment, pause for 1 second and unpause?
Okay. Did that?
Yeah, that's pretty much it. Just realized you're a little bit ahead.
A little bit ahead? Okay.
But yeah, where was I? Yeah, we see on, by the way, they have really good pick potential. If anyone lands one form of CC, you'll pretty much follow up and die.
That's true, yeah.
But on the same side, we have so much kind of protection for the Kai'Sa with Braum and kind of the rest of the team.
That's true.
I think for the last game they're opting for kind of a classic protect the puppy or Uzi comp. Pretty much putting all the eggs in the basket for the ADC and letting pop off, which is reasonable as well.
Yeah, game 3, last game, the finals. It's a more reliable strategy. Just farm up for late game and execute on the team fight rather than executing these really tough 1-3-1 situations where if you get caught, it's game over. So
I think they know their star player. He's done a lot in all the games to kind of carry his team, and he's been playing magnificently. And
nice cleanse.
Really good cleanse.
Oh my god, the flash cage! Shit, he's gone!
Oh, he's dead. That's tower. Oh no, there's a follow-up. There's two people in the mid lane.
Oh my
not sure
god,
if they're
what's
able
going
to
on?
do this Jarvan 1v2ing. I don't think he has enough damage to follow up and do anything big, but
Nice.
the carry has missed his cage. Kind of whiffing that cage. He really should have got that cage off. And we see in the top lane, everything Trina's kind of worked towards is kind of for naught with Kai'Sa and Braum just demolishing him. They're going for another. They're trying to get the mid tower yet again.
They will get it.
They,
Whereas the bot lane of Crows is opting to stay in the top lane and trade an inhibitor for a second tower.
oh, and they're gonna hook off. EQ goes in.
Oh,
I
no.
don't think that Jarvan's gonna live. I
No.
think. Look, they're gonna keep pushing top lane.
I wonder if they stop the backs here. They're trying.
They can get inhibitor. They can trade it.
Oh my goodness.
Oh my god, bro. Braun,
Oh!
what are you doing? Oh, guys, just run away and back properly.
They're still fighting. Oh, nice shockwave.
Get straight into it. What are you doing?
Oh,
Are
they
gonna
lose the
base race?
inhibitor.
Base race. Base race.
Is this a base race at 23 minutes? They can't get this kill, surely not. Trina's trying.
Trina, what are you
Trina,
doing?
no!
Oh no.
They
They're doing
can.
the base race.
They're actually base racing.
No.
Nikesh is back.
Case
Nikesh is
gets
back.
in time.
Braum is dead.
No.
Oh,
race
it's
makes
so
it-
close! Oh my god!
This
Wait, is that
game
GG? That's GG! Everyone on Crows is dead!
Oh no.
BTW!
This is how the
Oh,
series ends.
are you serious? That just came out of nowhere!
Wow.
From a really slow game to an explosive end to the game. We see BTW.
Oh no,
my
it's not over yet.
He might even be. Forrest is two orders and he's
Oh,
gone!
it is.
Oh,
What an unlucky ending for Crows. They had the right idea.
oh my goodness.
Hanami leaving the game a little early, but that feels
was-
bad. Look, GG to Unstoppable. By the way, they showed that at times they were unstoppable, and Crows an extremely great series. They climbed up
Ugh.
the bracket, playing extremely well.
Yeah.
I just realized Crows actually came from the same side of the bracket. So they did play once before. I do
Okay.
think Unstoppable, by the way, was undefeated.
Okay. Yeah.
Crows coming through from the bottom of the bracket as the third seed in the 5-team bracket, coming through, winning against the seed 2 in the second group. Sorry, seed 1 in the first group, and then coming into the semi-final match, almost defeating, by the way, at the very
Wow.
last moment. I gotta say, that was such an interesting ending.
That was very, very interesting.
If
3 very different games, and that was what really made the series for me. Every game was very different, and especially game 3, you don't see that very often. 20-minute base race, how often do you see that? That's insane.
it
Oh my
really could've
goodness.
gone either way.
Yeah.
If we see what happened there, if they just timed it a little better, he almost timed it perfectly. If he had
Yeah.
like just another half second off, he wouldn't have got caught by that stun, and he would have killed that Nicarius. And if
So
that happened,
unlucky.
he would have had a chance to win that base race. He probably does as much damage as the enemy team, not combined,
Yeah.
but he does a lot of damage. And if he died that little bit earlier, he may have forced the enemy team to back instead of to continue going.
It's possible. I need to watch the replay if he had the minions to finish off that game, but he definitely had the attack speed. He had the Rage Blade fully stacked at the Storm Razor and the Brutes attack speed, so he had a lot of attack speed and a lot of stacks on his Rage Blade, so that was very close. If he
Yeah,
lives,
no doubt.
yeah, that was wow. What an ending.
Definitely.
Oh my
Well played
goodness.
by everyone. What a great series. Game 1 we had, by the way, Unstoppable, by the way, looking very strong with their early game ganks, and unfortunately overstayed, and Crows punished that very hard and went
Yeah.
on to dominate, especially with that Akali pickup. Game 2
Yeah.
we saw, by the way, kind of getting their footing back again and showing some of their dominance. And in Game 3, look, it looked like, by the way, was the stronger team overall, but Vaya showing his individual strength as a player and his
Yeah.
ability to carry. If only I don't know, just a couple better decisions made by the team or individual players, things could have gone very, very differently. Opting to kind of play safer when they're in the base, not fighting and just clearing waves, that may have been better. But look, these are one of the games where there will be a lot of regrets for Crows, and for, by the way, there's a lot of learning points. But look, overall, you can't go home too sad with that kind of game. I guess the sad thing is, you were so close.
Yeah, exactly. Just imagine if just one decision goes right for you. One more decision goes right for you. You get that extra auto attack onto Veigar 1 second earlier, and he just dies. So.
Yeah, I mean, some other teams wouldn't opt for the base race. Other teams would have just backed.
No,
other teams would have just said, "Look, they're doing that. We'll Baron and back." Or there are all these other options to be made. But that's what makes League of Legends great. Like series like this, where they're so close and so interesting. But yeah, that's it for, I guess, this afternoon. We will be back with another series at 10 p.m. tonight, so we'll be back then. Right, to all the viewers at home, thank you. This has been a pleasure. I myself, Eri, have really enjoyed my time here. And Shinzo, do you want to sign us out?
Yeah, definitely. So thank you everyone for joining us on the stream. Of course, congratulations to Ensemble One Away, going to meet Neuterland in the Div 2 finals. And again, as Eric said, we have another stream coming on at 10 p.m. So hopefully to see you all again tonight, and have a good day.